The near future of Alberta's oil industry might just be rail cars. In February, Rachel Notley signed contracts to lease 4,400 rail cars to take crude from the oil sands to international and U.S. markets. The deal would cost $3.7 billion and would move an estimated 120,000 barrels of oil per day.
It will provide more flexibility to producers, especially to our smaller producers. And it will allow us to stay nimble and respond quickly to market changes across the continent.
The oil by rail plan is a medium-term strategy since the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion, which isn't approved yet, and if approved, isn't expected to be operating for at least 3 years. Other projects like Keystone XL and Line 3 are also delayed. Notley says her plan is expected to generate $5.9 billion over 3 years, bringing in just over $2 billion into government coffers. Predictably, the NDP plan is being criticized by the UCP.
This is taking risk that should be borne by the private sector, by oil producers, and shifting it onto taxpayers.
Jason Kenney says his party will cancel the contracts if he is elected into office. Kenny says the cost of using rail is just too high.
Of course, we do need to move more oil, but we don't need to do it at taxpayer expense. This nearly $4 billion expenditure equals the equivalent of 4 major hospitals or nearly 200 new schools.
Kenny says Alberta can't afford the almost $4 billion price tag, and once he tears up the contracts, the money would help shoulder the first-year pain of his tax cuts. Many details about the oil by rail plan we don't know, such as what kind of penalties there would be if the contracts with railways are torn up. Notley says scrapping the deal would cost Albertans $2.2 billion in potential revenue.
Not only does moving oil by rail car clear the backlog, reduce the differential, save jobs, and make a considerable profit, it sends the right signal to international investors around the world.
The oil by rail shipments are expected to begin in July, with most of the rail cars arriving next year.